Manic Monday. How are we doing, everybody? We are back, moving the chains, rocking and rolling with your man, Sammy, the man McIntyre. How are we doing right now? I'm recording this late night edition. I'm recording this. We got the doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Bills, Falcons in Atlanta. Mike Penix, Josh Allen, great quarterback battle against Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Two quarterbacks went 1 and 2 in the draft. So we got those games going on right now. I'll give you guys my reactions to those tomorrow. So let me start with this. So yesterday morning, I was up at about 6 a.m. I was getting rocking and rolling. I got done actually watching the Cowboy documentary, America's Team. Holy shit, that was a lot to handle. I felt like I was in a time warp. I mean, it was insane. I thought Last Dance was crazy with all the bombshells dropping. That felt worse. I mean, it was crazy. So highly recommend it. I hate the Cowboys as much as anybody. But that was fascinating. I mean, the Jimmy Jerry feud and the pettiness and the bullshit and, 500 coaches coach this team and blah, blah, blah. It was insane. So if you haven't checked it out, on Netflix, go check it out. It took me a couple nights to watch it, but I finished it yesterday. Near the end, it got kind of boring, wore me out. But it was fascinating. And Jerry Jones is a very interesting man. I think he's turning out Davis near the end, but besides that point. But while I was finishing the Cowboy thing, the Broncos-Jets game was on. And that was boring. That was like watching paint dry. That was bad. I mean, it was bad news, Bears bad. And I want to start with Denver because my brother's a big Bronco fan. And, I took some notes yesterday. It's great having you guys on, by the way. So I'm looking at Denver's miscues. They won 13-11. Sacked Justin Fields 9 times. I got to the Jets in a second. That was a shit show. But I'm taking these notes here. Turnover on the opening drive. Jets got the first turnover. Oh, my God. Woo! All year. 72-yard kickoff return. That was the second thing I found out. They allowed that fake punt conversion near the end of the game when the Jets were kind of driving. They had the holding penalty in the end zone, so the safety looked like an Egyptian. And they had 6 penalties for 38 yards. Now, I don't know what the end result was, but when I caught it, that was what it was. So, again, it was awful. And Denver squeaked out with the win. And Denver's defense, my brother's saying this, if the Raiders O-line, and I'll get to them, congrats, the Raiders won finally yesterday. Whew, even though it was a sweater, Jesus Christ, we won. So I'll get to them Wednesday. I'll give you guys my take, like I do weekly. But I watched that game, and my takeaway was if the Raiders can't block that front for Denver, it's going to be a 10-sack game or 50, because that Denver front is insane. I mean, that defense is so fucking good, it's insane. It's stupid dumb how good it is. I mean, Pat Surtain's the best corner in football, him or Stingley. And then you have Benito, you have Cooper, they're just throwing guys at you. It's insane. And I will say with Denver's offense, there's something missing. I don't know what it is, because they do have capable enough backs and tight ends, and I like Evan Ingram and Cortland Sutton. They have the pieces. But I kind of feel like with Sean Payton, this is just me, I heard this from Middlecoff tonight, he's kind of holding Bo Nix back. Like, is Bo Nix holding them back? Does he, not trust them? Because I don't know what it was, because he had 3 completions in the second half. Now, again, Bo, he's a good, I like Bo Nix, but I'm just telling you that the deep ball is a little hit and miss. Kind of Derek Carr-esque a little bit yesterday, I'm kind of watching. But hey, Denver got the win. You can't apologize for a win. It's like a great perfume in the NFL. But that was kind of alarming. And it just, got to be better. I've always kind of been critical of Sean Payton's teams. They've been kind of sloppy to me. Going back to New Orleans, the vision was kind of iffy. But, hey, they got the win. And I'll flip to the Jets. Oh, my God. Some things never change, man. I mean, you could bring in new coaches, new GMs with the Jets. And they have good players. I think Sauce Gardner, to me, is kind of coming overrated. And I think Shannon Sharp said it. When they started calling the calls on him, he gets really handsy. In that rookie year, they allowed him, hey, play that way, and he was great. Since then, though, not great. So I don't know what the Jets paid him. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but hey, it is what it is. And then the Aaron Glenn signing, I don't know, man. There's something missing. And I know he played for him, and we said, Dan Campbell played with the Lions. He became yeah, but the Lions to me are well run upstairs now, because the Lions I believe when I was at the Detroit Raider game a couple years ago, I talked to a couple Lion fans, and they were saying that they kind of just said, okay, you run it, and let the ownership back off. That's what I think the Jets need to do. Because you're watching the Lions become like this well-oiled powerhouse machine. The ownership, they're just saying, hey, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, you run it. We're going to sit back, and we're going to support you. The Jets don't do that. So the Jets got problems, and it goes beyond that. Paying Justin Fields the money they did was stupid. He's always been a good player, good athlete, can't see the field at all. I'm watching yesterday. He's bad. And I liked him coming out of Ohio State. Fell for it. I was a sucker. But I got sucked in a little bit. And, Chicago, same thing. And the other thing is, I feel for the kid because he's always had defensive coaches, right? The Bears, he gets Matt Eberflus. And then it was, it was Matt Eberflus. It was defense culture, Chicago. Then now they're offense culture. But you had Chicago defense culture, Pittsburgh defense culture, and the Jets defensive coach. So I feel like Justin Fields would be better if he had a McVay or an O'Connell or a Matt LaFleur, somebody like that to use the skill set, but he hasn't. But you saw what he is. He's just awful. And the Jets from here on out, lose out, bottom out. It's just hard to watch. Them in Cleveland, to me, are bores. The Dolphins are bad, but at least the Dolphins give up points when they're not giving the ball away. All right, so you guys know I'm repping my Baker Mayfield t-shirt because Baker Mayfield balled last night against the Niners, but I want to get to him in a little bit. I got to start with the Sunday night game, though. So, Detroit went into Kansas City, and I will say this. I still contend to this. I will say this every time I do my podcast. Seeing Kansas City, Arrowhead, under the lights, whenever it's on TV, it is fantastic. It's one of the best venues I've ever been to in my life. I'm grateful. I went. It just popped up on my Facebook a couple of days ago. 3 years ago, I went with my dad. Fantastic trip. Had so much fun. Although we blew a 17-0 lead. But I had a great time. So, I want to start with this. So, the Lions lost last night. But I was listening to some Lion fans today. And I know Mike Kesnick and Derek and my buddy Anthony Giles, who I follow on Instagram, biggest Lions fan I know. That was hard last night. Because I had the Lions going in and beating the Chiefs because they did it, the opener after the banner. So I'm like, okay, I think the Lions got it. And you saw the equal talent on the teams last night. They have equal talent. These are two of the best teams in football. That could be a Super Bowl matchup, and I really do believe it will be. But I go back to this with this. The Lions are going to be okay. And I get it. They played like shit last night. Their offense got stagnant. They had some miscues. I love the trick play that Johnny Morton called, and then the penalty, and then they dropped that ball on 4th and 2. And they just had some uncharacteristic Lion mistakes, which you can't do in Arrowhead. You just can't. The Chiefs are becoming like the new Patriots. Okay, yeah, we're going to wait for you to fuck up, and then when you do, we're going to take advantage of it. And that's what it felt like last night. But from the Lions' viewpoint, here's the thing. You got this guy coming up to your house next Monday night, in Detroit, which was a rematch of the 2023 playoff game, which the Lions, we saw that was. That's going to be a playoff game. And next weekend in Detroit, next Monday night. And I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait. You got that next Monday night. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, you beat the Buccaneers, which has kind of given you some fits over the years. That's kind of one of those random teams. The Raiders and Jets, it's always a weird rivalry. Lions, Bucks, it's like, you never know where it's at. But I will say this, if the Lions beat Tampa next week, you're 5-2 going into that bye week. Top of the North. So you're doing pretty good. And I said it before the year, they're going to win that North again. People said, whoa. The Lions were kind of calm. There's a lot of noise. Not so much them, but but they're going to be okay. I mean, Goff is still good enough to get you a Super Bowl. He's done it. He's a seasoned pro. The Lions are going to be fine. Sam Laporta got me a touchdown last night. Good job, Sammy. Happy for you, brother. I love Sam Laporta. Grow a beard, though. Don't be a bitch. But you got something going, and you're a great tight end. Come from Iowa. So that's the Lions' viewpoint. The Chiefs' standpoint, they had to get that win last night. Because if they didn't, 2-4 against your 2-4 Raiders, not good. Not for from the Chiefs' standpoint. So I will say I was happy. Listen, I love watching Mahomes. And listen, I know he gets a lot of calls and all that. That's fine. I got it. Brady did a lot. It gets annoying, and I agree. But I cannot doubt his greatness. Come on, man. This guy is an all-timer. He's in that Favre, Elway, Marino talent, but just has, like, something about him that just feels right. You know, he's one of the guys. And listen, man, he's been phenomenal. And this team is still going to be a playoff team. I don't think they could make a Super Bowl. They could not. I think they probably will, just because the AFC, the way it's lining up. I mean, the Chiefs really fear anybody? Ask yourself. 41 Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Do you fear the Colts? No. Like, the Colts are a well-run team. I think they could match up with the Chiefs. But I'm just looking at it right now, like, your division's kind of, Denver maybe be your best shot, but I don't know. Raiders won, but defense was great. So offensively. Yikes. And then the Chargers, they're 4-2, but they've had a lot of injuries. It just feels weird. So, I just feel like the Chiefs, again, you had your shot, man. You had your shot to own this conference. Well, the Chiefs were down a little bit, and you can't control it. You couldn't boa constrictor it and choke them to death and suffocate them. So, Chiefs are back. I don't know if they're back, but they looked pretty good last night, and they're getting the receivers and the weapons back. Still concerns me, no run game, because Mahomes is run game. But, great win last night for Kansas City in Arrowhead, under the lights. Fantastic. Could be a Super Bowl matchup. Who knows? So, now I can finally talk about my guy, Baker, Moneymaker, Mayfield. Balling out yesterday. Beat the Niners 37-19 in Tampa. Two injury-ravaged teams. But when they are healthy, these teams are stacked. But I will say this with Baker, Moneymaker Mayfield, because he made me proud yesterday. Put this man in the MVP right now. 12 touchdowns, 1 pick. Yesterday, more impressive. Mike Evans, Buka's out. Godwin out. Tristan Wirfs, a lot of guys out. Bucky Irving. Didn't matter. Put the team on my back. Let's go. And Baker Mayfield did that just yesterday. He had that scramble 3rd and 14. Coincidentally, it reminded me of Jeff Garcia playing the Jaguars in-state rivalry. Jacksonville was in Tampa 07. Jeff Garcia's running. Helmet comes flying off. Gets near the goal line. He kind of reminds me of that with Tampa. Baker always needed like that pirate renegade style. Tampa Bay fits it. I'm just happy for him. And he's found a home. And Tampa Bay could be dangerous, man. Watch out, because when they get all their guys back, they're going to win this division. Now, Atlanta's up 21-7 right now in Buffalo. My jaw's hitting the floor because I can't believe it. Fire Sean McDermott, question mark? Just saying. I don't know. We'll see how that game goes. But I will say, this team looks good. And their defense is still not what it was. Because Mac Jones still shredded it yesterday. But they get a lot of heat. Todd Bowles, we all know this. Todd Bowles in the pressure. And so watch out for that next week in Detroit. Because Jared Goff faced the Steve Spagnuolo kind of defense with all those disguised looks and craziness. Todd Bowles, tightens that screw up more notches. Because they send everybody. So I just was so proud of Baker yesterday. The way he responded, it was ugly early. Give the Niners credit. They hung in there. They're doing this with nothing. Okay? They're doing this with nothing. And I'm proud of the Niners. But at some point, man, you just got to go cut your losses. Yeah, I can't do this. I can't. I got no dudes. I got 20 tents, blue tents. Everybody's hurt. So, I give the Niners credit. Like, they're fighting hard. But, man, it felt awful when Fred Warner got hurt last night. He's like the Ray Lewis of the Niners right now. When Ray Lewis was in his prime. Because, I mean, it's just hard to lose guys like that. It's like, remember the Titans when they lose Gary Bertier. You can't replace a player like that. You just can't. So, I know it was a movie, but kind of drawing the similarities to it. So, I do think the Niners, listen, they paid all these guys money, and it's just a shame they've gotten hurt, but this is football. Crazy shit happens. But I got to wonder what's going on out in Santa Clara, why these guys are getting hurt all the time. I got to ask myself that question. But Great win for Tampa. Baker Mayfield balling yesterday. Way to put the team on his back, Baker. Making me proud, my doppelganger. I got fired up because it got me feeling nicey yesterday and got me woken up feeling dangerous, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I feel great. So another game I wanted to touch on was the Seahawks-Jaguar game. Okay, so it was a battle of top 3 picks, Sam Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, sunshine. And listen, Jacksonville got that 6-0 lead. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a game. And then, Sam Darnold, listen, played efficient yesterday. They ran that 12 personnel. It looked fantastic. It just was awesome to watch. I love what this Kubiak offense is doing. Very good Shanahan offense. Boots, actions, get Sam going. Get those condensed formations, get going down the sideline. Him and Jackson Smith are just fantastic. And another guy, Sammy the Man Darnold, is making me proud because he's a really good player. And I know when he came out, the interceptions and all this other shit, you know what? Some guys need some stability in their life. Not everybody's Peyton Manning that can just go into a crapshoot like the Colts and rattle off wins. Not a lot of people are built that way. They need support. They need stability. And Sam got that with Seattle. He got that with Minnesota. He got to San Francisco, learned that. Goes to Minnesota, has a great year last year. Back half the games were bad. And, sometimes we're back to Sammy. But now he's balling. And I will say this, that defense yesterday really got after Trevor Lawrence. Because I look up, and they got 7 sacks on him yesterday. I mean, they got after his ass. And I was listening to the NFL Live. I was working out tonight. And Dan Orlovsky, who I disagree with at times, but he made a point. He said the Seahawks are brushing with 4. They're bringing that cover 0, whatever the hell it's called, fire zone. They're bringing house everybody. And they remind me of the Giants, that NASCAR package of defensive linemen, because they're sending, they got 4, they don't have to blitz at all. So that helps your defense, your back end. You're rushing 4, but then they just send waves. It's like a, avalanche of these pass rushes they got. And listen, they draft really well. Them and Tampa is very similar. Under the radar teams, draft really well. John Schneider, Jason Light do fantastic. And the way that they've constructed this defense is just awesome. I've been saying this the last couple years. You guys are my witness. I've been saying this. Seattle's close, man. They're really close. They're not as far away as you think. They have the receiver. They have the O-line was solid. You need a quarterback. Because Geno was okay, but you need a guy to get over the hump. Now, is Sam ever going to be that guy? I don't know. But I'm bullish on Seattle because they might make a playoff run. Watch out. Because this team, they're going to be a mother to face. And you thought Tampa Bay, Seattle, there's a lot of games right now in the NFC that could be playoff games. And that's going to be one of them. Put Seattle in the playoffs. From the Jacksonville side of things, listen, they've had a good year. I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence, he's always going to do that to you. I think he's just kind of who he is. And he has all the talent. I just still question, do you love it or not? And it was hard yesterday because he started off really hot. They had that blown coverage early on. But it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, it was a great day of football yesterday. We got a great week of college football. Woo! Bama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Georgia. God, I love football season. So, hope you guys are doing well. Got content throughout the week. Hope you guys are doing well. Manic Monday. Adios. Godspeed.